Hello there, welcome to a tyke farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling ding dong the bell. It's Monday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This video will be added on to tomorrow's video as the opening video. We're not working today because I've been voting, so I've enjoyed the day off. But the mechanic's been round today, sorting out this truck. So he's put the new gearbox on, Japanese surplus, which I would imagine's a Japanese scrapyard engine and gearbox. But in Japan, the emissions controls are that strict. I think they can go on the road for 3 years before they have emissions tests, and then the vehicles are sold on. Big industry throughout the world selling Japanese tractors and trucks. So I'm quite confident that that'll be a good gearbox. He's got it on, it's test driven it, I've been in it, and everything's working as it should. A fair bit of oil on the floor because we've put him in here to change it. I've put sand down, get it cleaned up tomorrow. So the cost of it was, the replacement gearbox was 10,000 pesos, so that's 150 quid. There was 2,000 pesos worth of gear oil went into it, so that's another 30 quid, 180 quid, and then the labour to fit it and everything was 2,000 pesos. So that's £210, 420 Australian dollars to have a gearbox replaced. So that's pretty good value for money. It's an old truck, painted up and sold as new, only in the Philippines. But there's one thing about that, you know, an old truck here, if you need a new engine in it, it's going to cost you 20,000 pesos, 300 quid. Cheapest chips, isn't it? So I'll have a walk down the piggery. And have a look down there. I've had 1 or 2 comments about the audio. That's when I use my iPhone to make a little video, and then we join them up together. This is Jean's phone, and the audio is better on this one, so I'll have to remember to use this one all the time. Yeah, it's cloudy now, it's very cool, but I was down here earlier on when the sun was out, and it's very, very pleasant in this shed. Even when it's stinking hot outside, there's a big difference in temperature. And I think it's going to work all right. But time will tell, we won't know until we get going. So I'll leave this video there, and I'll start again tomorrow morning, which will be Tuesday morning. Hello there. It's Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. I've just got back from downtown, doing a bit of shopping, as you can see from the water and the gas bottle in the back. And I went down in the ute, and yeah, the gearbox is running all right. Different noises, different sounds from the other one, so it'll take a bit of getting used to. And it seems to be quite low geared compared with the other one, but it's running all right, that's the main thing. So with 3 men on site, working down here in the piggery. We'll go and have a quick look. I won't show you much because I won't have a video to make at lunchtime if I do. They'll be taking the shuttering off the last two panels are poured. They're not working tomorrow, so it's going to be a slow week. And they're shuttering up the panels this side, which are going to pour next. Maybe this afternoon. Well, I would think it will be this afternoon, but we'll wait and see. And these are the two panels that poured Saturday. Now, I had a couple of interesting comments. I can't say who from because I can't remember. But, well, all the comments are interesting. But two over the weekend, particularly so. Now, one guy asked me if I'd any experience of raising pigs in the Philippines. And the reply I gave him was no, absolutely none. I've got to rely on Jean for any local knowledge regarding growing pigs in the Philippines. But it's completely different here to where our grew pigs in Australia. Now, the most thing different about the pigs here is you've no prime cuts. Maybe the spare ribs, they seem to attract a good price. But the leg of pork, the loin with the chops in, they don't seem to attract any more, well, certainly the leg, any more price than what you would get for the shoulder. But on the other hand, everything's retailable off that pig. In the West, we'll clean the small intestine and use them as sausage skins. But here they eat all the intestines, the large intestines. They're cut up into 2 or 3 inch lengths, clean them, and I don't know what they get for them, but they do get a price for them. So it's all entirely different. So the answer was no, I've no experience with raising pigs in the Philippines. But I have a little bit of experience raising pigs elsewhere. Now, the other comment which was interesting was the guy said he's never known a foreigner make money out of pigs in the Philippines, and he's been here 8 years, I think he said. And that's possibly true. Well, it is true, that's what he said. It's got to be difficult in the Philippines for a foreigner in many aspects of selling the commodity is raised. Now, locally here on this mountain, people will keep a couple of pigs in the back garden, and when they're wanting to sell them pigs, they go around the houses asking who wants some pork, to buy some pork. And then they slaughter the pig and chop it all up, and if somebody's asked for a kilo or 2 kilos, they go and take it to them. But they don't seem to have a choice. It's all the same, the pig, whether it be the leg or the shoulder or the head or whatever. It all seems to be part of the price. They don't seem to have a choice in which part of the pig they get. So it's all very different. And with anything in farming, in any country in the world, it's very difficult to make a profit. In Australia, they have a saying on how to make a fortune in farming: start off with 2 fortunes, because you're going to lose one. So I'm aware of how difficult it might be. This is why I'm looking to get a sari shop to retail the meat. I think that's the only way I'll make a reasonable profit. And that's another thing, what do you call a reasonable profit? A Westerner can look at the profit and say, well, it's not worth the effort for the amount of money we're making. But we're in the Philippines, and we're working on the Philippine economy here. So what's maybe not worthwhile profitability-wise to us, if it's worthwhile profitability-wise to the Filipino partner, then it's a good thing to do. For me personally, providing I can make enough profit to pay a wage to do the work, and Jean's happy with what's left, then I'll be happy with that. Because for me, this is very definitely a hobby farm. But I'm too old to do the physical work myself, so I need help with that. So it's got to be profitable enough to pay a wage, which aren't very expensive here. So I'll leave that video there, and I'll make a couple more throughout the day, and we'll see you later. To make a concluding video, it's 10 to 5, Tuesday. Not working tomorrow, so they'll be back on Thursday. So we'll go and see what we've done today. They've took the shuttering and bracing off these two, and then they've shuttered up these two and got the braces in, but they haven't poured them today. They're ready to pour. But then we've been doing the iron work. Now the new guy, Jean's uncle, Uncle Soy we call him, is doing it a bit differently. He stopped him chipping out the posts, because he says you were weakening the posts. So how he's doing it is drilling a hole in the post, putting his rear bar in, horizontal bars, and then welding them to the vertical bars, which are embedded in the concrete. And he's put one VO bar, the length, these have a stirrup on the bottom, which I said before, and he's put one length of VO bar in instead of 3, which he says is enough, and I agree with him. But doing it his way, it's much neater, and the squares are evenly spaced. Whereas before, when you knock into the posts and find a VO bar in there and bend an L shape on the end to fit over the rebar, the horizontal VO bars are all over the place because you've been bending the metal. So it's a lot neater. It probably won't make any difference when you pour the concrete, but certainly looks good now. And he's done these two. So he's well in front of the concrete pouring. Now I've got 3 sheets of plywood there, so I don't know if they're going to pour 3 at a time. They could well do. So he's got the metalwork to put in 2 bays there and 2 bays, 2 walls at the end. So we've done a bit today. Yeah, we've done a bit today. Now I've been thinking today, because I'm always thinking, but these pens on the plan, they've got 2 drains in. One drain here and one drain here. But the pens are only going to be 12 foot long by 10 foot wide. We don't need 2 drains. It'll make it simpler just putting 1 drain at the far end there. So that's what I'm going to do. Now the other thing I'm thinking of, and you've got to think forward. So I'm wondering to make the first 3 panels into 3 pens, which will hold about 10 pigs. Maybe 8, but let's say 10. Now these pens at this end, the top 3, I might make 2 of them into a larger pen. Because a larger pen, if you have 10 in each bay, a larger pen won't hold twice as much, because it's twice the size. It'd probably hold 2.5 times as much, so you probably get 20 pigs if you make a bigger pen. And the same the other side. And then the 2 last pens will be a single pen again. If one of them's empty, it can be used for a hospital pen. Or it gives you the option, if you're selling pigs and they're going to be going out this end of the building, you can move your pigs up into this smaller pen. If you've got a large pen there, you can fill both these pens up and empty the large pen, get it clean out and disinfected, and sort more pigs out going into it. Because all the time I'm looking, you've got to leave yourself with options. Now the weaner pigs at the minute I've seen are up to 6,000 pesos a pig, which is a lot of money. I still see some advertised at 3,000, but if somebody's getting 6,000, everybody will raise the prices to get the same. And the last week's price for pig buyers in Cebu was 175 to 215 pesos a kilo live weight. So if you're paying 6,000 pesos a weaner, you know, maybe there's not the profit there. So you always need options. Now, if I have these 2 pens at this end as single pens, each of them pens, and 2 on the other side, each of them pens will take a farrowing crate. Now, I didn't particularly want to be farrowing pigs because it's time demanding. But if to make an enterprise profitable, it's good to have that option. I'd much prefer to buy weaners in and grow them out. But I've got to leave myself with the options, and that's why them 2 pens at the end would give you scope for 4 sows. And that's why I'm thinking of making a double pen, or maybe 2 double pens, but I'm thinking 1 double pen at the minute, both sides of the shed, for fattening the offspring of your sows. So it's a good idea, the way I think, to give yourself that option if you need it in the future. So that's what I'll do, I think. But I'll think about it a bit more. So that'll do for today. We're not working tomorrow, so I won't be making a video tomorrow. And I'll get back to you Thursday. I'll make the next video on Thursday.